The Bachelor franchise has had an influx of issues with cast members in the most recent seasons, and with several contestants having gotten through the casting process with restraining orders against them, it seems the show doesn't entirely care about its cast members. Throughout the last seasons of The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and The Golden Bachelorette, there have been contestants who have rubbed Bachelor Nation the wrong way. Though there are always contestants who aren't interesting to Bachelor Nation because of their storylines, typically they aren't a danger to others if they're getting the opportunity to be on the show. With The Bachelorette Season 21 inviting Devin Strader into the cast to fight for Jen Tran's heart with major blemishes on his record, viewers began to become skeptical of what kind of checks were going into the show's casting. Though there have been legal issues with Bachelor stars in the past, seeing a contestant make it to the end of a season and have major problems ignored entirely until fans discovered them online was shocking. The trend continued onto the current season of The Golden Bachelorette, where two of the guys vying for Joan Vasso's heart have had legal troubles. While there have been some major blemishes on The Bachelor and its spin-offs in the past, things have been taking a turn for the worse in recent seasons. Though it's possible that the franchise has simply been hiding things better in recent years, the influx of issues with contestants has many worried about the safety standards that are being followed by the casting team of the show. With so many issues in the last few seasons and an abundance of problems overall in the show's history, Bachelor producers may not care about their cast enough for the show to continue. The Bachelorette's Devin Strader had a violent past. His ex-girlfriend documented his issues. Although The Bachelorette Season 21 was difficult from the beginning, Jen's season was supposed to be a celebration of her as the first Asian American Bachelorette. Despite Jen not being the first choice for the lead of the season, the guys who were involved seemed like they were happy to meet and get to know her as things progressed. Jen was able to get to know the guys of her season and weeded through some of the more problematic guys early on, but a few were able to deceive her for weeks on end as the show continued to film. Devin, who was a frontrunner throughout the season and quickly became a Bachelor Nation villain for seemingly love-bombing Jen almost immediately, made it clear that he was on the show to find love. After going through the entire Bachelorette process and accepting a proposal from Jen, Devin's past began to make itself known to viewers. After an ex confirmed that Devin had a violent past, it was discovered he'd had a restraining order against him for stalking and violent behavior during his college years. Though he was apologetic eventually, Devin's behavior spoke for itself and overwhelmed the Bachelor Nation audience. The Golden Bachelorette's Gil Ramirez was obsessive with an ex. Although Devin's past was a struggle for Bachelor Nation to get past, they were determined that the Golden Bachelorette Season 1's lead was going to have a good journey. Hopeful that Bachelor producers had learned their lessons with Devin, and certain that they'd take care of Joan, viewers were excited to get to know the guys of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1's cast. Learning more about the men, including The Bachelor Season 28 winner Kelsey Anderson's father Mark Anderson, viewers were hopeful about their nature. Unfortunately, it quickly came out that the Golden Bachelorette's Gil Ramirez had faced past issues. Gil, who was eliminated from the series early, presented as a kind, funny guy during the first stretch of episodes, but he was a lot more sinister than he seemed. It was revealed that Gil also had a restraining order out against him from a recent ex, who shared that in the months leading up to the show filming, Jill had been obsessively calling and texting her, trying to get in touch with her to no avail. Though the ex had tried to let Gil know she wasn't interested, he hadn't stopped, and she'd gotten a restraining order against him. A second Golden Bachelorette restraining order was revealed. After Gil was largely edited out of the show, the Golden Bachelorette viewers hoped that there would be no other surprises down the road. Unfortunately, it was discovered that one of Joan's Golden Bachelorette finalists, Guy Gansard, had a temporary protective order filed against him in the past. The order, which was ultimately dismissed by Guy's ex-wife, asked that he only contact her via email about their children and didn't communicate with her otherwise. While Guy has seemed kind on the series, hearing about his troubling marital issues made it clear Bachelor producers didn't do a thorough background check. Although The Bachelor and its spin-offs obviously do some kind of background checks with their contestants, the checks clearly aren't thorough enough for leads to feel safe with the contestants anymore. After 3 restraining orders in 2 seasons, it's obvious that Bachelor producers aren't being careful with their leads, and more problematic cast members are to come if they don't take action. The producers behind The Bachelorette and The Golden Bachelorette value the spectacle of the series more than the safety of their cast members, and need to change things if the Bachelor franchise is going to continue on successfully. The Bachelor franchise, long celebrated for its escapist romance and high-stakes drama, has seen an alarming trend of contestants with serious red flags making it through the casting process. In recent seasons, including The Bachelorette, The Bachelor, and The Golden Bachelorette, viewers have observed an increase in troubling contested backgrounds, sparking outrage and concern. As restraining orders and legal disputes among cast members surface, fans and critics alike are questioning if the franchise prioritizes sensationalism over safety. From Jen Tran's season of The Bachelorette, where fan favorite Devin Strader had a disturbing history, to The Golden Bachelorette where Joan Vassos faced multiple contestants with problematic pasts, it seems clear the show's screening process is failing. Behind the captivating fairy tales is an uncomfortable truth, one that reveals just how far producers might go for the sake of drama. As The Bachelorette Season 21 premiered, fans were eager to see Jen Tran as the first Asian American lead, making her journey a landmark season for diversity. But the hope for a positive and empowering story soon dimmed as dark revelations emerged about one of her final suitors, Devin Strader. Devin quickly captivated Jen's attention, displaying charm and an eagerness for romance. However, he also sparked concern in Bachelor Nation with his intense displays of affection, which some labeled as love bombing. As his connection with Jen deepened, rumors about his past began circulating. At first, they seemed like typical gossip, but after the Bachelorette season finale aired, fans uncovered far more troubling truths. Devin's ex-girlfriend spoke out, revealing a restraining order she'd filed against him in college for violent behavior and stalking. Although the Bachelorette producers had plenty of time to vet contestants before casting, Devin's past didn't come to light until fans unearthed it themselves, raising questions about the depth of background checks conducted. Even after his past came to light, the franchise handled the situation minimally. Instead of addressing Devin's history publicly, they let the narrative fade, causing many to wonder why the show allowed him on in the first place. This lack of transparency only fueled fans' suspicions that casting decisions are driven more by screen presence than safety. As the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 began, many hoped that casting older contestants might bring a more mature, wholesome experience. But Joan Vassos' journey was disrupted by yet another contestant with a problematic history, Gil Ramirez. Early in the season, Gil presented himself as the quintessential romantic, funny, approachable, and genuinely interested in Joan. But after his elimination, disturbing details surfaced. An ex-girlfriend revealed that she had filed a restraining order against him due to obsessive behavior. In the months leading up to the Golden Bachelorette, Gil reportedly made repeated attempts to contact his ex, bombarding her with texts and calls even after she clearly stated she wanted no further contact. Fearing for her safety, she filed a restraining order to limit his access to her. Though Gil was eventually eliminated from the Golden Bachelorette, the situation left viewers questioning why contestants like him are even allowed on the show. While producers reportedly edited Gil out of most scenes following the revelation, this retroactive approach failed to alleviate concerns. By casting someone with such a background, the franchise undermined the very journey it promised to create for Joan, one focused on finding a healthy, enduring connection.